Hi, I'm Tim with Selfless Awakening, where I like to ground all of the spiritual stuff. I'm on day 10 here of my 30 Days of Awakening series, where I wake up in the morning, I get present, I just ask the question, what could I talk about to be of service to others with this video, and things pop in my head and then I talk about them. And you're going to see me looking back and forth a little bit. There's a live Instagram feed happening here. So I'll be mostly looking at the YouTube camera though, okay? So here we go. The topic that I have for this morning is this topic. It's the topic of when to help someone and when to set a boundary. And what can happen is it can become very easy to get baited into helping when really the best thing for you and the universe and the whole situation is to step back and set boundaries, okay? And here's the idea. Here's the reason behind this, or the concept behind this. Inside of our society, we have this idea that it's a more, hi, how are you? In our culture, we have this idea that it's a noble thing to put other people in front of yourself, to put other people's wants and needs in front of your own wants and needs. That's kind of built into our culture, if you think about it. You know, it's we all meet in this style of communication where, you know, we all think we suck, and as long as I make you believe that I think I suck, then you're going to think I'm humble. And it's like in our culture, this idea of, it's almost, we have built into our culture this idea of we need to humiliate ourselves to, oh no, that wasn't good, or oh no, I'm suck at that, or, you know, someone gives you a compliment, the deflecting. It's like we have in our culture this idea to, instead of saying, yeah, I did well on that, or having this self-love, having an actual, I love myself and I think I'm good at things type of an energy, we always try to play it down, and you know, there's like this self-abuse that we always throw at ourselves as part of our culture, as almost one of the playing cards we have to meet each other with. And when someone does come who's confident, who feels good about what they're doing, there's almost this judgment of, oh, they're cocky, or, you know, it's like, we should all be cocky. We should all be, you know, believing in ourselves and feeling this deep connection to self-worth. And this is the part of our culture that, and our society, that we can start shifting, is this idea that putting yourself second to someone else is actually helping them or helping you. Like, that's the big misperception. It's not. When there is someone who's in need, it's important, this is the way I think of it, is to look at that person in need as another person just like you. So here's the idea. We're going to get a little zoomed out now. I'm going to get a little deep into the mindfulness stuff, okay? Here's the idea, all right? You are not the voice in your head. You're not your body. You're not this person. And that person that you believe needs help, they are not the person that you're looking at. The body, the name, they're not that person. You are not that person. Okay? However, paradoxically, this is where we're getting a little words that get kooky here. However, paradoxically, even though we are not the thoughts in our head or our body, and we are actually the non-physical awareness that's always present, the energy around us, even though that is actually what we truly are, we need to love what I call the egoic construct of ourself. And we need to love the egoic constructs of everybody. From this place of stillness, from this place of understanding the authentic self, the higher self, the true self, from that place of stillness, we need to love our egoic construct love our body, love our story in the mind. Even though it's not really who we are, we need to love that the same way that we love the other person's egoic construct. So if this person needs help, you can't compromise this egoic construct, the one that you're carrying around, for their egoic construct. That's one of the biggest misperceptions, I believe, in our culture, is that I'm being selfless and honorable and noble when I compromise what feels like the intuitive right thing for this being, this egoic construct I'm carrying around. I'm going to compromise this person that I've created for that person. And that is not the way I believe it works. I believe we have to treat the ego inside, the person that we've created, equally to the people out there. Okay? So, how does this all tie into the topic that I started off with today, this topic of how to know when to help someone and how to know when to set a boundary? Here's how. This is how that plays in. It's time, if you feel like the avatar that you're pretending to be in this world, for me, Tim, the dad, the voice teacher, the guy who does these spiritual self-help videos, whatever you want to call them, this guy, if when someone needs help, it doesn't compromise this being, then this being can help that being, okay? However, if the helping of that person is going to make this person pulled down a rabbit hole with that person, or in the helping, this egoic construct is diminished and hurt by helping the other person, then then that's a place where you need to set a boundary. Okay? We can only help people when the help is going to be not hurting the being that we are. Okay? And let me language that better. We can only help someone when it doesn't compromise the pretend ego avatar human being that you're carrying around inside of your non-physical field of constant awareness. What? That's it. That's really the truth of it, is, again, and this has been a big thing on this video, is like, you are non-physical awareness. That's what you are. You're the present. I'm the presence looking at the live Instagram, seeing people come in. Hi, everybody. You know, I'm seeing people come in. I'm the awareness. I'm the constant presence. I'm the presence that's watching Tim's thoughts pop in and go. I am the space around the camera. I'm the awareness of the camera as much as I am anything else, right? So that's who the true me is. However, we're not in this video talking about living in that zoomed out place where everything's blissful, everything's peaceful, everything's perfect. We're talking, this video is more about a little bit of a layer into the matrix a bit. This video is about interacting with inside of this make-believe world that we've created, and how we can better do that, and how we can better really help each other. And that's the big thing I want to say, is that the big thing that came to me today is, you can't help anyone else if it compromises you. It doesn't make sense. It's like you have to treat your pretend person, in my case Tim, with as much respect as you do anyone else. And it's time to break that in our society, this idea that me being helpful to you needs to compromise me. No, the universe is big enough. There's enough things to do. There's enough joy. There's enough, where we don't need to compromise what we want to do in our lives. That's not being loving. If anybody's help is taking away from you, then you're helping another person to hurt yourself, right? Help needs to come from a place of replenished energy. Help needs to come from a place of, like, I'm helping the person I'm carrying around help that person, but I'm not compromising him, okay? So the time to set boundaries is when you feel like someone else's personality, someone else's struggle, someone else's situation that they've created for themselves is trying to pull you down with it, okay? That's not a call for love, okay? That's not a call for love. What that is that's an egoic, that's you trying to be baited energetically, okay? And you have to really be able to discern the idea of what it feels like to be baited by someone and what it feels like to be called by love to help someone. And that's the big difference. And it can be kind of deceptive, which one is which, you know? And I can say that in my life, I'm not going to go into the stories right now, but there's been some energetic baiting happening with me lately that from a couple different directions, and so I realized clearly that this was something to share and talk about. And I'm very thankful that I feel I've done a good job of treating Tim like with as much love as I would with the other person, and the other people, actually a couple. And I really considered how I could be of service to these people. What is the most loving thing I can do? And the thing was, in these situations, the pull from these people was not a true call for love. It was a call for vibrational thievery. You know, it was a call for trying to take me down, trying to pull. It was it wasn't from a place of the universe saying help, you know. And that's a thing we have to look at. And that's just my point I want to say today. That's my big note to sing in this video, is knowing when to set boundaries or when to help is dependent on whether or not the help compromises the egoic construct that you've created. So Tim doesn't get to help Bob if Tim helping Bob messes up Tim. Okay? There's no honor in that. There's no, I went into the bar and dragged you out and I broke my jaw and my elbow and here you are, and now I'm hurt just like you're hurt. Like that's not how we help. That's not how we help people. I have a little comment here. Sounds like me talking. Yeah, we all do this. We all do this. Find it so hard to create boundaries. Yes, it is hard. It's so hard because we want to help. You know, the same part of us that wants to help is the same part that needs to also have an awareness of boundaries. And it has to detach from the self, the personality construct that's you. Like, for instance, Tim, I need to be able to step out of Tim and sit as the non-physical awareness constant and look at Tim and be able to say, this is not loving for Tim to be trying to help this person. Taking Tim and helping that person is hurting Tim. That's not what love would have me do, you know. And you mentioned there Lolo SW Journey Mum Life. I like your name. You mentioned and I'm so drained. Yeah, it's draining. That's another big sign that you have to set a boundary as opposed to helping. Is I don't believe that we are helping anyone by lowering to their state, to their mood, getting caught up in their thinking, in their negative chatter, in their spinning of fear, in their anxiety, in their self-abuse. Like, what we can do is hold space for them. We can love them. Sometimes the best thing to do is to love someone from a distance and to be very honest and say, look, I don't feel it's loving for me to help you right now. Like, I'm feeling hurt by helping you, and setting the boundary. And then expect that just knowing the way that egos react. When egos lose that tether, like there's part of the ego that's trying to plug into you and it's trying to bait you into the, pulling you into the energetic cycle of the person that needs help. And it's very important to be able to say, hey, I'm not going to help you, and it doesn't feel loving for me. And then to be mindful that it's probably not over with that person yet. It's going to stir things up with them. They're going to reach out more. They're going to be, why did you leave? They even may start throwing these darts at you, these energetic darts, like, you abandoned me. You don't care about me. I thought you loved me. That's not love. That's not love. Love is always there. Love is the constant presence underneath and around everything. And we need to love ourselves and treat ourselves with that same respect that we would the other person. Imagine yourself like your child. Would you take your child and put your child into a situation of being somewhat abused by someone who needs help, but they're trying to pull you into it, Another comment here. I tried to say I couldn't. I was told I was selfish. Yes, this is exactly what someone that you need to set boundaries does. They try to pull you back into the story. And this is where you have to be steadfast in your staying true to this principle. You can't put other people in front of yourself. Like, that's the idea. That's the way it is. And we have to break that misperception, that programming that's faulty in our society. It's time to evolve past that. And maybe there was a time in society where that was helpful, but it's not now. This is a time where you have to love yourself so that you can be there for people in a way that you can still maintain your vibration, you can still maintain peace inside of yourself. Anyone that tells you you're selfish because you feel that they are too unhealthy to be around is baiting you. It's an energetic bait. It's hooking you in. And this is someone that it's important to develop the strength and find the knowledge to protect yourself. And this is where the self-love practice is so important. If you're having a hard time setting a boundary, my encouragement would be to deepen into more meditation and self-love practices. Like after you're done meditating in the morning, if you meditate in the morning, if you don't meditate in the morning, I recommend you meditate in the morning. Like, take time and go on these self-love rampages. Tell yourself how proud you are of yourself. Tell yourself how much you love yourself. Tell yourself, and when I say self, I'm talking very specifically, speak from the non-physical awareness that is you to the egoic construct that you're pretending to be. Speak from your awareness to your personality. So in other words, the awareness of me, the awareness that's here inhabiting Tim, speaks to Tim and says, I love you, Tim. Like, I'm so happy. I'm so proud of you. You're doing such a great job. You're such a loving person. It's so beautiful to see you so loving. And you spend time loving yourself. And then what that does is that helps you understand that you are, you're not, you are something outside of yourself, just like that person is something outside of themselves. And so you treat yourself in a wonderful way. Don't put this construct in a shitty situation, Yay! Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I will do. Yes, beautiful. All right, I think that's enough for me today. A nice almost 20-minute talk. I've time to get ready for clients. And so there we go, day 10 of 20 Days of Awakening. The message for today: you can only help other people when it doesn't hurt you. That's the big message, okay? And practice, if you are feeling like you keep finding yourself in those situations, practice stepping back, becoming aware of yourself as the awareness itself. Sit with the personality of you, sit with the egoic construct of you. Learn to love it so that by loving it, you can see that even though it's not you, it's still your avatar that you get to play with in the world, and you got to treat it right, because that avatar is going to interact with other avatars, okay? So you love your personality, and you don't treat your personality as a second-class citizen to everyone else's personalities, okay? There you go. Yes, hope you have a lovely day too. Thanks for stopping in. I'll see you guys tomorrow, okay? Thanks.